Welcome to Boss Up Academy, where you can get your business and real estate updates on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Tonight I have a very special guest with me. Josie, would you like to introduce yourself to the audience for me?
Hi, everybody. My name is Josie Hood. I am a real estate developer right out of Chicago, Illinois. I do a lot of things. I'm a broker. I develop multi units. I also build domestically and internationally. Um, I teach others how to do exactly what it is I'm doing, and I'm really all about anything to level up. I just want everybody to boss up and just make money.
All right. We're going to take a brief break while Facebook builds our audience. We'll be right back. Well, we're back and we're ready to get started. Josie, so you said you're based out of Chicago, right?
That is home. Yes, ma'am.
So are you a native of Chicago or have you just ventured
I,
out into Chicago?
no, honey, I am a native of Chicago, South Side, born and raised by a single mom, latchkey kid. So I'm always putting in my tagline, just a latchkey kid from the South Side of Chicago out here trying to change lives one property at a time.
All right. So what made you get into real estate of all the things that you could do in Chicago?
You know what? I've always wanted to get into real estate, even when I went to undergrad. I went to undergrad because that's what you do, right? You go to school, you get a good job at the post office or wherever that is, you buy yourself a house. But I always wanted to do real estate. But since I didn't have anybody in my immediate circle for my family, I didn't see that. I saw you go get a good job. Um, I went to school like everybody else, but I always had this itch to do real estate. But I needed the stability of a check. So when I finally got enough nerve and I had a husband, I could now stop worrying so much about the bills. And so once I had kids, I really wanted something that would allow me the flexibility to still be a good mom, a good wife, and still make a lot of money. So I just decided to come out of the classroom and go get my real estate license. And I really haven't looked back ever since.
How many years did you teach?
Oh my gosh, I taught second and third grade for maybe 7 years. Trying to remember, maybe 7 years. Um, I did eight. Just I started off as a sub though, so I kind of like went from human resources to being a teacher assistant because I was trying to have something where I could be home. And then I went right into teaching second and third grade. Then I taught Spanish to middle school students. So I did that
Oh,
for about
wow.
7 years. I went and got my license in between that time though.
Our lives kind of parallel because I used to teach first grade. I taught first grade for 5 years. So that
Okay.
5 to 7 year
Yeah, yeah,
mark is when most teachers do exit if they're going to exit the
mm-hmm,
education world,
yeah,
right?
yeah, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So did you like plan just to sell real estate or did you know that you wanted to be a developer?
I never wanted to be a developer, which is why I'm very thankful every day. I only wanted to sell houses. I thought it was a glamorous job. I knew exactly where I was going to go get my real estate license for, what the school I was going to go to, and I was like, I'm going to sell houses in the south suburbs and drive around in a nice car, and that's really as far as I wanted to go with it. And it was really because when we purchased our first home, what really pushed me, we had a horrible agent. I will not say their name, but it was a horrible agent who just kind of left us out there. And that just pushed me even further just to go ahead and just sign up, take the class, and make it happen.
And what year is this, if you don't mind me asking, or how long
That
ago?
was
Do you
2000,
remember?
2004. I've been selling real estate a long
2004.
time. That was
Oh, okay.
2004. So I got my license and I was still teaching at the same time.
So how long did you do both?
So I did both maybe for about a year. And really because I decided that I didn't want to be a part-time agent and I really wanted to be a full-time mom. So for me, in order for me to be a full-time mom, I need to be a full-time agent because what I was doing was getting my babies up, putting them in the car. We were driving 45 minutes to the school I taught at, dropping them off at daycare, come back home, doing everything, and then trying to do real estate on the side. But I was making so much money doing real estate, it just didn't make sense. Like for me to be going through all that extra hassle. So I would say just about a year. But then I did have a slight overlap when we had that market crash. When we remember the market crashed on us.
Okay.
2000, what was that? 12,
7,
something
8.
like that. 10, 12. Yes. So yeah, but I held on for a very long time. Then I had to go get another job. But I went right back to education. And this time I wasn't in the classroom anymore because I had gotten my master's degree. I had started my doctorate in education. And I opened up major universities. They have a campus in the suburbs. So I opened that up and I ran that campus and I was like on their billboards and everything. But then the market changed and I decided to go full-time real estate again. And I haven't looked back since.
So what year did you actually come back into real estate? Because a lot of people, when we talk about fall down 7, get up 8, and some people they exit but they never return, or they get so scared that fear blocks them so much from doing things that they really want to do, or for them to transition out of their place of security. So what made you go back at it for a second time? I mean, that takes even more courage than probably the first time.
It definitely did, but I never was 100% out. I still held on really just a little bit though. But to be honest, I was more afraid of staying at that job than I was of going into real estate. So the saying, people don't leave jobs, people leave managers. I had a manager that forced me to level up because I said, what I cannot do is continue to come in here and deal with this. I absolutely will not deal with people with entitlement issues. And I decided to, at that time, Steve Harvey had a book that came out called Jump. I bought his book, Jump, and then he had a Jump conference. I had no money to go to the Jump conference, but I had $29.99 to buy that book. And that book, I read the book and I jumped, and I have not worked the job since, and I will not.
Okay, all right. So you, and then so Miss Lee says yes, full-time mom goals. So a big shout out right there.
Right.
But and a lot of people, they are discouraged, or they get complacent because they are a mom and they get this check that's secure. So once you got into real estate, back into real estate, and was selling again and was full time, how did you pivot and transition again?
So I started building my leads up. My kids were young, and that was really the challenge. That's a lot. That's a lot of times a challenge for moms. And I had football practice, I had cheerleading practice, I was a Girl Scout mom. I had all these other things. So believe it or not, my kids started going to work with me. So my kids learned at a very early age how to show a house, how to use a Sentry lock box. They knew to take those shoes off. That they learned because Mama had to make this money. I couldn't afford a babysitter. I know I wasn't going to stay on this job, so I slowly did that a little bit more and a little bit more. And as they got older, they could sit in the car. Hey, Miss Lori, but it was just a transition for me. I mean, really, I had to step out on faith. And so during that time, I think I started selling like candles or something. Like I was doing everything I could to not work a full-time job.
Okay. So how did you go from selling to now pivoting over to the development section? What caused that transition?
So part of it was I was working with a lot of investors, and I just got sick of being on that side of the table. So when you work from with investors like myself now, we expect a lot, and the agent gets a little. And I just got sick of being the person that was going out just to buy the houses, and I wasn't making any money. And really, my business partner pushed and pushed. He pushed me, and was like, "You need to do a flip." And I went back and forth. He wasn't my business partner at the time, and he encouraged me to do a flip, and was like, "I'll pretty much hold your hand through it. I'll get you through it." And so I did my first flip, and we made $99,000 off of that flip, and I can show you the check. Um, so sold. That's it. So from that point on, we flipped, and then we started working on projects, and I started looking at the cost of materials go up, just dealing with the people, the labor, everything was in slow demand. You don't know what's behind the wall. So we decided just to take a stab at new construction. And that's really how that was birthed. It was just because I'm like, it's taking me this much time to flip this property when I could just go build a new construction. And so that's what I did.
Oh, wow. So then that's when you begin to pivot again. A lot of people, I see a lot of young people get into real estate and they want to be buyer's agents and they want to work with the people with bad credit, and they are the first time buyer specialists because they just got their license, because a lot of these agents, they are making more than they would on a traditional job.
Absolutely.
And they are tired up all their weekends and doing all these things to be they get the smallest check pretty much on a CD next to, to an attorney,
Right.
that's doing,
Right.
volume of closings, but and they're making money on the title insurance and all that other stuff, but their checks are probably close to an agent, especially a buyer's agent who has done the bulk of the work to make the transition happen. What advice would you give to a new agent that they are only seeing that small portion of the business?
You know what? I'll have to tell you, I loved being a buyer's agent too. Like, that's fun. Now in my wisdom, I know that the seller's agent is really who's winning. Because no matter what, that seller's agent's going to get a check, right? The buyer's agent, you are competing with however many offers you are up against. And in a market like this, where we are low on inventory, scarcity is driving up prices. I would say that you need to diversify yourself. Definitely, you want to try to definitely hold on to being a buyer's agent. I think, like I said, that's a beautiful thing. You gotta crawl until you can walk, right? But try to get some of those listings. You need to do stuff like start looking at expired listings and reaching out, introducing yourself, offering your services, and see if you can bring some of those listings back to life. If they're expired and they have not put them back on the market, there is a reason. It could be just because the property didn't sell. It could just be because it didn't work out with their real estate agent. And people's lives get busy. They just haven't had a chance to reach out to find another agent. I would definitely say to do that. They need to start networking. I should have been networking sooner. Now I am the networking queen. And you will be amazed at the business that comes when people like you and when people just know who you are. So get out your comfort zones. I know these young folks like to be on these apps. Get out them apps. Put some nice clothes on. Wear a belt with your pants. Ladies, get that hair together and go out and meet some movers and shakers.
Okay, yes, and networking is here. They say if once you increase your network, you can increase your net worth.
Oh, that's a fact. That's a fact. Because bosses hang with bosses, right, Erica? Am I correct on that?
Yes, I'm getting around you. I was had the pleasure of meeting you in DC.
And I ain't never seen a lobster as big as the one you ordered. I was like, what did you call? What did you call that lobster again? That was the biggest lobster I'd ever seen in my life. But bosses hang with bosses. So it was a nice meeting.
True. Yeah, I love that's my favorite kind of lobster is the African lobster. And it's the fluffiest and it's the biggest.
I don't eat it, y'all. I'm allergic, but it almost makes me want to take some Benadryl because it looked
Yeah, so with that being said, so you started building new construction houses in Chicago, right? In a competitive market.
Yes, ma'am.
And then once you, so now were you tearing down houses or were you building straight off vacant land?
So we right now build strictly from vacant land, but we have looked at properties and we're definitely open to properties, especially in certain communities where you can do a tear down. Part of the investment strategy is going to be to go to Northwest Indiana, which most of those will be tear downs. And as long as we keep a certain percentage of the foundation, the tax rate doesn't change. So we definitely are looking at that, especially in certain areas. So tear downs are always an option because sometimes it's harder to get land. But I do tell people buy land; they are not making it anymore. So if you can get your hands on some land, I would encourage you to do that.
Okay. And how have you found your success in a major city where most cities are all built up? You're not in a quote unquote rural area. So how are you finding vacant land in a city? And
Networking. So what you'll find again when you are around a lot of people and to be honest, more opportunities come this way that can be handled. I cannot handle the current bandwidth, which is a blessing. Definitely keeps me up at night sometimes and it makes me teary-eyed, but good tears. To be in a position that you have more business than you can handle. But there's all kinds of ways. What I don't do is I rarely find deals on the MLS. So you can go through land banks, you can go through private owners. I spend time downtown. I'll be downtown tomorrow. We research addresses, we research parcels. But all of this comes with the knowledge and the wisdom and getting with the right people that can teach you what you don't know. What people want to be, everybody wants to be the smartest person in the room. I don't. I want to be around some people that can teach me something so I can continue to level up. We should all, no matter what we do, continue to be lifelong learners.
And so networking is your secret sauce.
Definitely.
And being a sponge for knowledge, being a lifelong learner and not being complacent. And I'm glad you pointed out you don't want to be the smartest person in the room. You want, in the words of Oprah, you want those people that's going to take you higher.
That's it. And grab onto their pants legs.
So, how influential have your mentors been in your success?
I owe them everything. Like what people think is that you can get out here and you can do it by yourself. You cannot win by yourself. You need a team of people, not only to help you, but also to support you. I definitely have a mentor, went and found mentor. I have multiple mentors. And when I tell you priceless, you have to be willing to pay your mentors. Your mentor has made all the mistakes that you don't want to make. You don't have to learn everything from your mistake. Your mentor can help you, especially if you find somebody that's willing. People like to talk about what they do. Like I like to talk about what I do. You like to talk about what you do, especially when somebody's a sponge for it. And if somebody's willing to pay me for my time, now they see the value, right? Because you're not going to waste your money, I hope. But when I tell you the knowledge, and even now, I talk to my mentor every single day, because I'm still learning things along the way, especially as I'm on the path that I'm now building these green homes, which is actually why I was in Washington, D.C. I was learning about sustainability and electric vehicles and just net zero housing, Justice 40. But I owe who opened my eyes up to a lot of it was the mentor. And once I learned, I continued to look for more knowledge, more information.
And I'm glad you brought up the DC trip because people often stay in their community, in their little, and when they do networking, they network within their box. when
Mm-hmm.
now you got to spread your wings and go outside of your box, your area of that you are the most familiar with, and the
Mm-hmm.
people that you're most familiar with. It's okay to network with the people around you, but you got to spread your wings out more. And going to DC, several hundred miles away from home, how did that expand your knowledge or expand what you're doing?
So when I learned about DC, I went alone. So as you know, I met Deanna there, but I went from Chicago by myself, and I wasn't even with her during the entire event. So the willingness for me to do that, because you cannot always wait for other people to do stuff, because they got to wait, they got to fix their schedules, they got to look at their money, and I need to book my flight. So I do a lot of things solo. So even if she hadn't gone, I had made the decision I'm going to go because this is what I want to do. It was through the Office of Diversity and Inclusion. It was on Capitol Hill. And this was a direct invite that I received from the Department of Energy. So who was going to turn that down? Was I nervous? Yes. Did I know anybody? No. But let me tell you, I learned so much more about how to build green, how to find money for apprenticeships, net zero, Justice 40, which there's so much money that are out there for minorities that want to get into building sustainability. I learned about electric vehicles. I met in people because I'm a social butterfly. So I met a lot of people that are like-minded. If they were there at that event, that means that we have the same interests. I joined a group for Black owners of solar services. I had such a good time. In addition to all the knowledge I had, I now have an opportunity to do a project in Abuja, Ghana, as a result of a relationship that was developed there. And guess what? I turned 50 while I was there, and I had a whole party that we all went to dinner, I should say. We had dinner, we had drinks, we had shots, and Josie didn't pay for it. That was all just from people I met in DC.
So and then we talk about ROI, right? So
Investment.
sometimes people get, well, I don't know if I want to pay to go to that conference. I didn't, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and the ROI, even your meals and the opportunities, more than 10x the trip,
Mm-hmm.
right? Not
More,
including the
more, more than that.
accommodation.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So a lot of times that, and I'm glad that Miss Lee, she put this up here to say, don't be afraid to move solo. And
No,
because
ma'am.
when you get to a lot of these places, and I've gone to a lot of conferences by myself, because like you said, you can't wait till so and so gets their money right, or they figure out if their boyfriend or their husband going to let them go, or whatever it is. That's that, the excuses that come along with traveling with someone else. Hey, I'll give you my itinerary and we can meet there if you
That's
so
right.
desire. I'm going with or without you.
That
And
part, Miss Erica.
huh?
I said that part right there.
But once you get to these
Mhm.
places, you're not alone. And that's
Mm-mm.
what I think that people don't understand, because once you get there, you get to the conference, you are so busy mingling and doing, you don't even have time. If somebody does go with you, you don't have time to really entertain them or see what they're doing, because they should be doing what you're doing. And you're linking up with new people. So essentially,
Right.
you're not alone.
Not at all.
So I wanted to point that factor out, because a lot of people feel like, oh my God, I'm gonna go to DC, I'm gonna go be by myself. But essentially,
Mm-hmm.
you're not by yourself, and you really, if the person that you had going with you, you don't really have time to entertain them. So you're really not alone. So don't be afraid, because like I said, and even when you go to restaurants by yourself, people will come up to you, talk to you, meet you, because
Mm-hmm.
they kind of like, oh, she's sitting alone, she must and
Right.
that makes it all the better. And now you have these connections. Now let's talk about your international part, because you did talk about a new opportunity that presented itself. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing internationally.
So internationally, international is a big expansion that we're heavily getting involved in. So right now, only started one project. We actually just had a survey project in Zuma, Bahamas. Just today's the 17th, just today. And so that'll come back, and that's going to be a project that we're going to be looking for investors for. We're still trying to figure out what that looks like, if that's just going to be homes that we're going to sell, if we're going to Airbnb those. We're gearing more toward a Black-owned, woman-owned private beach club.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, invite only. Still trying to put all the pieces together. And that's just the beginning of that one in the Bahamas. That's Exuma. That is not Nassau. Nassau is very different. So people go to Nassau, they go to party. You go to Exuma, you go to relax. The water looks like Gatorade. So the opportunity has presented itself in Ghana, in Abuja, which is now the capital. That's going to be a resort. And also there's going to be a resort opportunity in the Bahamas as well. And then we have several opportunities that'll be presented. We're still rolling out contracts, so I really can't talk about it. We're still signing on dotted lines. I believe some of them are listening today. We're doing some things in Punta Cana. So we got a lot of good things. International is just, again, as you see, I really step outside of Chicago. So I do a lot here, but I do a lot. I'm on a plane almost every week, just learning. But, one of the things is it all goes back to relationship. When you were saying my return on investment from my trip to DC was 10 times over at least. So you have to remember that when you massage your relationships, those relationships will lead to other relationships. Because if you have the right wingman, more opportunities will always come your way.
Right. So you said that now y'all doing it. So don't you have something that's coming up in the Bahamas and like in the next week?
So in the Bahamas, we're gonna do a health and wealth retreat. That is, we're still working on the details of that. Everybody's gonna stay at the Grand Isle. They're gonna have an opportunity we're gonna do some real estate investing. People will have an opportunity to invest while they're over there. We're going to bring wellness in with that. That will be fall of 2023. Details should be coming out in the next 30 days. We also have a chance to touch on all of this that first weekend in June in Houston. June 2nd, we'll be there, myself and Yolanda J. So for her First Fridays, and we're going to be talking all things real estate. So whoever can come to Houston, come to the Houston invasion, because we getting ready to bring some people on. And I mean, my whole thing, I don't know, Erica, what you think? It's enough money out here for all of us to make some.
It is. And I mean, you can't catch it all when it starts. So that being said, and I know that your international projects, are you developer? Are you more on the real estate agent side, or both? Or how are you transitioning?
I'm the developer. I'm the face, and then there's the agent side too. So it depends. So in the Bahamas, I am the developer. I have a builder that'll have boots on ground. So you guys will have an opportunity to come there. I'll be there starting after next month. I'll be there every month for at least 3 days for the next 24 months or so. And that way people can see the progress and people can see the opportunities. So that I am the developer, which means I'm working with the architect, which means I'm working with the builder, which means I'm working with the landowners. And yeah, so it's my baby.
Now, could you say that Houston date one more time? And then after this live, we'll go back and post a flyer in the comments.
Okay. Houston is Friday, June the 2nd. Now, I'll be there probably that Wednesday before, because I have a podcast out of there, Real Wealth Real Estate. So I'll be there the Wednesday before, and we'll be doing a live show if anybody's interested. But Friday the 2nd is when we are going to have our Houston Invasion real estate event. And we're
Oh,
gonna spend 2 hours talking about real estate, answering questions. I like to keep it real and I like to keep it raw.
oh,
Um, and then we're gonna have a party after that because you got a party if you with me.
all right. Now I see where a lot of, and we were talking about, you transition from the real estate agent, but I see now a lot of real estate agents are looking to get into the international market. So how could they link with you with your development and bring you some good old buyers?
No, bring me some buy, and y'all come to do this. Come to do this. All my social media information is on there. I'm an open book. I do mentor. I do teach these courses. I just say you got to step out on faith. You can't be afraid to ask questions. Now, you have to understand that when people are mentoring you, they are giving you their time and they're giving you their knowledge. So you have to be willing to pay your mentors. But if you have a good mentor, it's going to be money well spent. Not necessarily saying that that's what I'm doing, but I'm just letting you know. So I make myself available. You guys can come and bring buyers to these opportunities. But you know what? As a real estate agent in this market, and if you're selling now, you know what this market looks like. It's highest and best. So if it's 15 offers, only one is getting accepted. You need to be trying to find another way to make some money. Because right now, selling houses is you just have to do more than that right now. So I encourage real estate. If you have a real estate agent license, you need to become a seller. You need to invest. I don't care if it's an Airbnb. I don't care if it's a landlord. I don't care if it's fix and flip. You need to find a way to expand on your knowledge and make more money off of that real estate. And if you have a real estate license, you can even become a wholesaler. It's so many things that you can do in real estate that I think people just don't realize that they can do.
All right. So that's another thing that people, that and you got to be in these circles to hear this lingo, to hear about these things which are going on, right?
Yeah.
So, I would just, encourage people to link up, follow you on social media, on Facebook, are you on Instagram too?
I am. I'm on Instagram. So y'all, I'm getting better with my social media. I just reached out to somebody to take care of it because there's a lot of stuff I got to do. I be forgetting to post. But yeah, you can follow me on Instagram under JEmma Real Estate as well. On Facebook, JEmma Real Estate Options by Design. And of course, you could just go to my regular page. But open your minds to learn about your craft. Network. If you are listening today and you are interested in real estate, I would just say that you should, when you get out tonight, you just try and find at least 2 networking opportunities for yourself. Are you there, Erica? So try to find some opportunities. Try and find some events to go to. I'm always looking. If you don't know what to do, you could just look on Eventbrite. Um, we have courses. Actually, I'll be doing a course June 24th and June 25th. It'll be a on Zoom, and we'll be teaching just the basics of real estate investing. You won't be ready to flip after that, but you'll definitely be ready to get started in real estate at some point. Hey, Lori. We're back. I see you now.
I was having a connection issue.
Yeah, I saw. I just kept talking because that's just what I do. But you're back now. You see it now? So if anybody has questions on how to invest, I'm certainly happy to answer those. There's so many different ways. Like I said, you don't just have to fix and flip. That's just what people think. And a lot of times people are afraid to step out by themselves. Guess what? You don't even have to do it by yourself. Sometimes you can do it with a group of people. When I went and bought that condo in Punta Cana. I bought it with 5 strangers that if they walked up to me right now, if they rang my doorbell, I wouldn't even know who they are. So as long as you have an attorney and you paper everything up, then you should still be fine. But don't but step out on faith. Step out on faith. Erica, are you there? I see you. Will companies help you get your license? I don't know of a company that will help you get your license, but a real estate license is probably so. Like both my kids have licenses, and I sent them to the school that I do all my CE courses with here in Illinois. Lori, I can provide you with that, but I don't know of an actual company. Maybe Redfin, but I don't know. I believe they have some sort of a training program. Are you there, Miss Erica? Because we see you fine. I think she's having some issues. I don't even. Can you guys hear me? Because I see her, but I don't think she can hear us. Technology is either your best friend or your worst enemy here. Oh wow. So I'm actually just reading a text. So when I just talked about, we just had a survey on the land in the Bahamas. So the text that I'm just looking for says that there's fruit trees on the land and pomegranates. So we don't want to tear that down because with this particular development, so I don't know if you can see, Miss Ebony said Keller Williams had free training in preparation for your real estate license. Um, with the development in the Bahamas, that's like where you're going to walk straight out to the beach. So that's not just having land in the Bahamas. That's literally beachfront property that we're going to be building there. Are you there, Miss Erica? Oh, you can see that, Lori? Fruitful and modified, right? Miss Erica, are you there, honey? I don't think she can hear us, y'all, at all. Can you see her, Lori? I know she don't have no Android, so this shouldn't be happening. So if you're thinking about getting into real estate, especially into investing, I strongly just encourage you. First of all, I encourage you to follow me because I'm always talking about real estate. And you know, if you talk to me for 5 minutes, we're going to talk about real estate. Definitely, if you talk to me for 15 minutes, but get yourself a mentor and stop worrying about stop worrying about what it's going to cost you, and you need to worry about what it doesn't. If you do not uh, find a way to make money in your sleep, you're going to be working till you die on your job. Yeah, we can. You can hear her. She's frozen. Nobody. I'm gonna stop for 10 seconds because I don't even know if she knows. Give me 1 second here. Technology. Welcome to live TV. Almost TV. You coming with me, Lori? Coming to Houston? Houston's gonna be fun, but we're gonna do something here too. Um, and then we're gonna do that health and wealth. And then you guys know I teach too with Dr. Heavenly University. Are you there now, ma'am? I really don't know if she can even hear us or not, and she's not looking at her phone. You coming with me? So, um, on this journey to build green, it's been 100% out of my comfort zone because I don't know the first thing about being green, but I just know that the government is trying to right their wrongs. You know, we got these communities where a lot of Black kids have asthma and just a lot of things are wrong. And so there's a lot of money that's out for people of color, Black and Brown individuals through Justice 40. So you guys should learn, so you guys should research Justice 40 and get some of what's coming to you. But I expand into real estate. Even last week, I did a live. We had a Zoom with the National Association of Black Women in Construction, and what we did was we talked with the Department of Aviation. So when people think real estate, they just think houses. They may just think buildings, but honestly, there's real estate in the airport. There's opportunities in that airport. Terminal 5 is getting ready to get built out, and guess what? Somebody's got to do it. And there is money earmarked for people that look like me and you, um, to take place and do these things. Uh, there's car rental facilities, there's restaurants. So again, think outside the box. If you are here May 10th, we will be having a live networking event. I just need to confirm the venue. Right now, we're having at 11:11, but then I just talked to the honors of chemistry, so I have to follow up. But it's going to be May 10th from 6 to 8 p.m., and it's going to be all of us in the National Association of Black Women in Construction, and it's going to be a lot of the like movers and shakers in town. Anybody that has to do with real estate and development, we're trying to just bring us together so people can talk. If you don't get in the room with the people that's making the money and they know the people that's making the decisions, you'll never make the money. So you have to position yourself. The word that I talk all the time about is alignment. You have to align yourself with the right individuals. If you do not align yourself with the right individuals, then your success is going to be limited. Oh wait, I need to respond to her. She says she can't hear anything. So we may have to go back and do our live again just because she's having technical issues, but I would just say stay tuned. Definitely follow me. I'm going to be working with Dr. Heavily and Dr. Heavily University. There's going to be a 5-day challenge on that. Stay tuned on my page. That's going to be June 28th through July 2nd. Yes, Ms. Ebony, alignment is what we talk about all the time. And we all know that, right? You're a product of the people that you spend time talking to and who you spend time around. And y'all protect your energy. Protect your energy. And if you want to boss up, you need to spend time with some bosses. You got to remember everybody can't go on the journey with you. When you get to a certain point, you start making a certain amount of money and you start to make people feel uncomfortable. Just be prepared for those relationships to start shifting. I know that is not necessarily real estate related, but I'm telling y'all that's success. You'd be amazed at the people who you think are your friends who don't clap for you because people want to keep you where you are. And if they don't clap for you, that's okay. Those are not your people. You need to get around people like me because I'm gonna clap for you every time because we can all win out here. So a lot of times I know like I have a really big personality, which is part of what makes me successful though, is because I'm not afraid to speak to people. I'm not afraid to enter rooms by myself and walk right in there and tell you who I am. Um, and so for some people, that's too much. So, my whole thing is if I'm not your cup of tea, go get yourself some coffee because I'm not going to water myself down or change who I am for anybody. So, I'm a developer, I'm a real estate broker, I'm an educator, I'm a lot of things, and I'm all of those things unapologetically. But the reason Erica and I decided to go live, and like I said, we'll go back and do it again since she's having her technical difficulties because we had a lot of things that we wanted to talk about, is this knowledge. We don't believe in holding knowledge. If you want it, come get it. There's some people on here now that I wish they could speak and they would see how when you just get around the right people, y'all, your lives will change. They will forever change. And everybody's not out here hating on you. It's a whole lot of us that want to see you win. A win for you is a win for me. That's just how I look at it. I do not need to be going in the Louis Vuitton store by myself. Come with me. I don't just need to be going to closing tables by myself. Come with me. So thank you, Miss Sion. Girl, I keep it real and I keep it raw. I keep it real. Hey, if you don't like it, just get off. But you just have to find your people, and you made a good point. You're gonna make more money with strangers than you ever will with your friends and your family. Point blank period. They don't even look at you the same. They too busy hating in a lot of cases. And not in every case, but in a lot of cases. Or, we got a whole thing of I want to invest, but I don't have that much money, or I'm gonna hold on because I don't want her to have more than me. Um, Keep your eyes on your own paper, is what I tell people. If you keep your eyes on your own paper, you ain't got to worry about what's going on with mine. So, but if we could just learn to work together, if I can take my 5,000 with her 5,000, and we can get 6 more people with 5,000, we could probably buy a lot. And if you got a 720 credit score and you got an 820 credit score, even if you got a 620 credit score, guess what? We can get a loan. So between the lots and the loan, we can get a building. And if we can get one building, we can get 2. We can go get a long-term healthcare facility. There's a whole lot of things that you can do when you partner up with the right people and you connect with the right people and stop holding back. But you got to get out your comfort zones. You want something different, you got to do something different. So I'm not going to stay on that soapbox, but I'm just saying, like, everything that I'm doing, and I do a lot of stuff, guys. I teach people how to do all of these things. I got like the absolute best business partner that opened my eyes and taught me a ton of stuff. I got the absolute best mentors, somebody who taught me how to go look for stuff on the computers downtown Chicago. I got somebody that talks to me about when this is the insulation that's going to come in here. These are windows. This brick is wrong. You need limestone. So guess what? Sometimes if I make mistakes, it might cost me an extra $8,000, but that's experience that I can share and talk to you about, so that you don't have to do that. So you just have to get with the right people. Now, if you notice, I just talked about us coming together. So just like that resort in the Bahamas, that's going to be a capital campaign involved. So you have a chance to invest your money. These resorts, these things being built in Punta Cana, it's they on this phone. It's not me. It's not me. They securing relationships. They're out here securing contracts. You got to build the team so strong that you don't know who the boss is, because everybody's a boss. And then you can get to a 6 and 7 figure salary. Forget 6. We going for 7. We're going for 800 credit scores and 7 8-figure incomes. That's what we're going for, because we have to start to build generational wealth. So it is nice if you're a real estate agent and you're a buyer's agent, you have to start somewhere, but you got to have goals. It is almost May. I talked about having a vision board party, but I was too busy to even put the vision board party together. But even if I don't have my vision board party, you guys need to create a vision for yourselves. You need to write it down and you need to make it plain. And you need to find some accountability partners. If what you're saying is that you want to build your first property, my question to you is, what are you doing to do that? You want to become a landlord. What steps have you taken today to get you to being a landlord? If that's the case, you should have taken landlord training. You should be connected with a real estate agent. You should be checking that credit to see what that credit score is like. And if your bills are too high, your debt to income ratios are too high, those bills need to be coming down. If you got $60,000 in the bank, but you got a 600 credit score, I'm gonna need you to find somebody who maybe they got another 30,000, but they got a 720, so you guys can go get a loan. Then what you need to do is you need to find somebody that's out here doing what you want to do, and you need to ask them how they're doing it. That's the only way to win, guys. But to keep sitting up here spending all this money on these courses, watching what other people are doing, especially if you hating on them, it's really not getting you to where you need to be. And you'll be surprised when you start making progress and getting with the right people and you start building and making moves, your whole energy level is gonna change. Your vibes, you're gonna be like, I ain't got time for the drama, no positive vibes only. You are correct, Ebony. Syndication. That is exactly what I'm teaching about May 11th. Syndication. That is what's gonna happen with these projects. Guys, you do stuff over and over and over again. That's that PER method. It's the same thing. If something's working, they're gonna keep doing it over. Why do you think all the Amazons are the same? Every Amazon you go in, my husband drives a truck, and every Amazon I have gone to with him, I don't care where it is in the country, the check-in process is exactly the same. I can go in each one of my Amazons and go to the bathroom because I know where it is. So if something's not broken, then you don't need to fix it. So I don't know what is still going on with with Miss Erica's technology, but I'm just trying to throw a few things out there to get you going. Hey, you guys need to learn about DSCR loans. We're gonna teach you about that. You guys can learn about seller financing. You guys need to learn about wholesaling. You can buy properties, you can do very little with it, and you can sell that. That is a quick way for you to get some money. Secure property with little or no money down, sell that contract to somebody who has some money, and make yourself some money off of that deal. Become a landlord. Maybe you're afraid to jump, right? And become a landlord because you don't want to take on a property that is empty because you're afraid of how you're going to fill it up with tenants. Well, guess what? Go find one with tenants in it. Even one better, and if it's just you, live in one of those units and let those tenants pay that rent for you. Do what you need to do to increase your income, your net worth, but you gotta change and increase your network. So again, if you are in Chicago, May 10th, please, please, please come connect with me in my networking event for the National Association of Black Women in Construction. That will be posted on my page before the end of the week, all of that information. June 2nd, if you can get to Houston, Texas, for our invasion with me and Yolanda J and I. Come hang with us there. We're going to have an after party. If you're there when we do our podcast live, Nolan and I, I'm sure we'll be happy to talk to you because we just want to know what you guys need to know and what you want to talk about. Airbnb, Galveston, Texas. Open up your mind, guys. And guess what's the beauty of all this? Every time I take a trip, all these trips I take, they are all tax write-offs. And that's the kind of stuff I'm saying. You got to get around people that can teach you how to work the system because that's all it is working the system, but making money in the process. Get with some networking, go to some networking events. You need to get with some organizations. I could name all the many different organizations that I'm a part of. That is where your money is, guys. That is where your help is. If you are here in Chicago and you want to be a builder, you want to flip, you want to learn real estate, there's no reason that you shouldn't be with me. As much as we out, that's how you're going to make your money. So again, I will get back with her as to when we're going to redo this and we can have a steady flow of conversations and I will get off my soapbox. But what I'm trying to tell y'all is to expand your circle. Expand your circle. Picking up that wallet. I'm not a chick that's out here trying to secure nobody's bag, honey. I want the whole vault. And I want some bosses around me who want the same thing. So we'll get back to you guys and let you know when we're going to redo this. I hope to see you in May 10th. Definitely hope to see you June 2nd. Hope to see you at the Health and Wealth Summit this fall in the Bahamas. And more than anything, I'm hoping to invest some money with you guys in real estate and or leading you in the right direction so that you can make some money. So you guys all got some homework. If you're not already investing, is I need you guys to go find 2 networking activities that you can partake in. And if you don't have a lot of money, just find something free. If you are in Chicago, the expectation is that you reach out to me and that you come see me May 10th at my networking event. If you are in Houston, Texas, or you want to buy a flight just to come hang for the weekend, then please buy that flight. In the meantime, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up because I'm just doing the show by myself and she's gone and I've been on this big old soapbox. So I hope you guys have gotten anything. JEmma dropped some gems and I hope that y'all got them. So you guys all have a wonderful evening and we will post when we will do this again. Thank you. I'm going to have her close it out. You're welcome, Miss Laurie. Thanks, Liana.